right, guys, so I'm just gonna give you a quick lesson, if you will, on measuring brake lines. So what I have done for more than 20 years, it's super simple. What I have in front of me here is a piece of 3/8 fuel line, okay? Now you can use 5/16 or whatever, but the fact is you're just gonna use a piece of line like this. This works the best for me. So what I've done is take just a simple O-ring, and I already have mine on here, but I put an O-ring on the line, and that's gonna be my reference point, okay? So here we have Aaron's FXR project. I just interrupted Jake's deal here and moved a bunch of stuff off his lift, so I hope he doesn't get mad at me, okay? But for the purpose of the video, this is a dual disc brake project. So I've just taken a zip tie here. This isn't the actual tee that we're gonna use on the project, but for the purpose of the video, it'll give you the point. So I've zip tied that up there. Yours will likely be bolted into place. But we have here the banjo bolt location on the brake caliper, and here we have the tee. So ideally, if you're doing a universal line kit, you're gonna have your banjo bolt already on here, but if you don't, it's not the end of the world. So I'm gonna take this. Oh, I should also mention, it's best if you have the bike jacked up or the load off the suspension, because as I talked about earlier, your brake line's gonna have to move. So your forks have to go to full extension and not have the brake line get tight like that, okay? So I know that down here, I'm gonna roll my little O-ring up. So if I put a banjo on here, it's gonna be your universal brake line is gonna be just about like this, right? Because we're gonna probably use a 90-degree T. And I know we're at full extension. So once we have the T on top, see that O-ring? So I slide that right up to there. And then there you go. You take this over to your toolbox and you measure it. Now, I don't think I have to show you guys how to use a tape measure. You might need to watch a different video if we need explanation on that. But a lot of times we lay the tape measure out on the bench and we take this and we just hold it down there to the tape measure that's already extended. And there you go. That's your brake line. So you need 2 of those. And when the bike is off the jack, that line will sag down a little bit like that, but at full extension, you have plenty of room. So if we want to look up here, we're just going to repeat the process, okay? So we have a master cylinder up here. Likely, we are going to use a 90-degree banjo. So I'm going to take that and hold it where the banjo would be. I don't need to run this through here, although I could. Let's just do it. We're not going to cut corners, okay? So that would likely go through here, up to there. I'm gonna take and roll this O-ring down to where it needs to be here. And now in this case, we don't need to leave any extra. It don't matter if the bike's up, down, turned right, turned left, it don't matter. This is always gonna remain. It's just gonna go in the route that we put it. So there you go, move the O-ring to where it's gonna be, pull this bad boy out, put it on the lift and measure it. So one of the other things that I like about using a piece of fuel line is that it does mimic the brake line, like I showed you down here, or like I'm routing it up here. It's not like a piece of string or something where you're guessing. You can literally point this in the direction you want to go. Even for like doing like a rear brake line on a bike, you're doing it by yourself most of the time. So you can kind of feed this down around where you want it to go, and you can kind of make it stay where you want in the front and work it to the back, and it really mimics what a brake line would do. So guys, it's that simple. And you might know that already, but you might not. So a simple piece of fuel line and an O-ring is going to be the easiest way to measure your brake lines. And this works for throttle cables and clutch cables and all kinds of stuff like that too. So what would Jake say about this? A pro tip? I think it's Jake's pro tip. So this is gonna be Pete's pro tip. Maybe that could be a thing, huh? But there you go. That's how we measure brake lines. So it's really easy for you guys to do at home, and there you have it. So pro tip, Pete's pro tip, number 1, measuring brake lines.